Belgrade. Elegant, layered, often missed. While protests played out across the city, I was exploring its quieter side. Grand entrances, tiled hallways, early 1900s interiors, all tucked away behind unmarked doors and silent courtyards. Ornate ceilings, curved staircases, the kind of beauty that doesn't announce itself. This isn't the Belgrade on the postcards, it's the one hidden in plain sight. And I'm in Belgrade, first time ever. New country for me, new experiences for me. And that means the challenges of finding things out. It's always difficult to get going on these tours. I always find when I'm in a new country especially, it makes things a lot more difficult. In other words, like, what's the lay of the land? How are things going to work out? Well, first of all, park the van. That was the biggest challenge that I had this morning. And then on top of that, it's then about the locations, finding the spaces and where to park nearby. So this morning we're heading on up to the first location. Wish me luck. Serbia's a new country for me, and I love going to new countries. It's actually my 4th tour of the year starting literally tomorrow, actually, here in Belgrade. And the first part of it in particular is a scouting trip. The whole thing is really, and that is because the second half is in Montenegro, and I have been there before. But I didn't take any photos because it was too hot last year, for those of you who have been around on the channel long enough to remember. So my target this morning is a really old building, right under the arch of this. And that's where we're looking to go. I know this is a beautiful one inside. We know access could be a challenge, or not. So we managed to gain access straight away. Lining things up, taking my time, trying to make sure that I get, there's these yellow walls, yellow framing left and right of my position here, and I'm trying to make sure I get the camera dead centre, and that is of course by making sure the tripod is dead centre. My first shot isn't exact, I'm a little bit off. I'm brightening up my exposure in the back of the LCD to make sure that I am sort of nailing it. It's not an easy one. There is a lot of lines in here. Shapes, lines, all sorts. When I go to the top, there's also elements of curvature in the top there that I also want in. I think I've now nailed it. I'm going to redo this shot. Now, I don't want to overcomplicate the scene. This is important, and what I mean by that is there's this yellow archway in the foreground, right, of this image. And I don't want all of it in, because if I put all of it in, it's going to look really complex in the foreground of the image. But what I would like is just a little bit of a draw into the photo for this particular version. So when I go through the framing, also it's going to give me a little bit more foreground to play with in post. I think we're there. Yes. Okay, let me just check the top. So when I'm doing this, I'm checking everything throughout. I think I'm happy. Beautiful.
That's exactly that. I like this place very much.
Do you know how old it is?
Pardon?
How old?
It was built in the 30s.
In the 30s?
In the
so
30s.
nearly 100. Okay.
32 or something.
Art Nouveau? Art Nouveau?
Not exactly, but in
similar
between,
style.
Yeah, special kind of architecture, some kind of baroque.
Ah, very nice. Sorry to disturb you. Thank you.
And you are taking the picture because you...
I'm an architecture photographer, actually. It's my job. Yeah, and I was just walking, and someone came out, and I saw the, and I thought, oh, I can't miss it. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, definitely. There are so many interesting buildings. I mean, in terms of architecture.
Yeah, I'm here for a week. I'm hoping to photograph many places. My first visit to Belgrade. Yeah, people are generally really nice and friendly. I've never had a bad interaction, and even here in Belgrade, the English is a good level. Now, if I was the 10th, 12th, or heaven forbid, the 100th visitor to this stairwell, do you think the welcome I would get would be the same as that? I don't think so. This is why I step off the beaten path. This is why I go searching for my own locations, fresh locations that are under-photographed. That and many other reasons, I enjoy those interactions, those first interactions, and people are way more friendly. So I've come down onto my knees here, as you can see. Everything was a bit high. I was a bit high. If I've come down lower, because of this staircase heading down the way, I can have a little bit more balance to the image throughout. Took a while to line up shots and get some good ones, and I got very lucky with the door, as you can see. I don't think it's group friendly, to be honest with you. That's a single person kind of place. You can get away with it on your own, but not in a group. Wonderful location. So of course, when I'm photographing cities for the first time, I'm always looking for externals too, because it does give things a little bit of context. Now, easy shot. 24mm, I'm still going to use a tripod because I'm using the tilt shift lens. Mainly because there's a car here. It means I don't have an error or problem, and I can just shoot the door problem free without knocking the car or getting in the way of the car. So in terms of height, we're going to want our tripod something like this, so full height without the centre column. I think we're in quite a cool area of Belgrade now. There's some really nice buildings around here, externally at least. And by the way, the locking mechanism on this tripod is much nicer than the Benro ones I had in the past. Solid and doesn't slip, which is amazing actually. So yeah, full height, like so, 24mm. I'm going to come back into this position here. I can watch the car, stand back like so, line up like so, come into the centre of the door. Now, the centre column's going to have to come up to give me height on the, it's kind of like a header above the door, which looks fantastic. And to be honest with you, like so really. Positioned quite well. 17mm is quite forgiving, so that means that I can bend and manipulate if I'm not 100% straight, you know, when it comes to post work. And the flooring is not quite as important, to be honest. I didn't shoot it all. So, nice and easy. The next one is also one of my must-do ones. Let's see if we get in. Oh, thank you so much. So I've done one shot and now I'm doing the entrance one. I'm not going to film it too much because it's been a bit of a pain, as you can see. I like the shot this way as well, but there's a lot of glare, like a lot of glare, and also that light is frankly quite annoying. It's the hardest of the lot because I'm right by the door, of course. When I'm right by the door, so many things can go wrong. I'm pretty happy with my composition locked in already, to be honest. Yep, I'm going to go for it. Finally, a moment of peace. By doing this as well, I've got options to crop the image because it means the floor will be a little bit more balanced. Now, I can't stress enough how important it is to not only be patient with the people, the ongoing situation. In architecture, you've got to be patient. That's just part of the job now. It's getting harder and harder to access places like this. But that's not the bigger thing. The bigger thing is learning not to panic. And what I mean by that is don't stress and think things are going to go wrong when you're on site. Otherwise, you're going to mess up your shot. Still try and think of your process. And that's why it's important to A, know your camera inside out, B, know your tripod inside out, and of course, your lenses inside out. Because all of those things, if you know them, it can lead you to not panicking on location. Now, when I'm doing a group tour, I'm normally looking for locations that the group have time to think about their stuff. Permission visits, those kind of things, where the group don't have to panic and they can get 2 or 3 nice shots. But there's occasions, especially in urban environments like this, where actually that can't really happen. And you have to just chill out and think 1 or 2 shots, not try and photograph everything. Think about it, slow down, and nail those compositions. Pretty cool. Oh, yes. I'm going to get the 2 shots that are here. There is 2 shots that are here. There's the upward shot, which is looking fantastic. Right here, hopefully I can weight it out with the light. Set this up, shoot upwards, entrance shot. Easy as that, same as before. This is a much easier location. It's much quieter, busy road. I don't see there being a big problem with this one. Now, as a rule of thumb, offices are generally much easier. People are more forgiving, they don't care that much. It's like, you know, it's a public space more than it is a private space. So people care less about your access and your shooting there. So, next up, I've got to try and frame this. It's the afternoon now, we moved on. It's around 1:20 and I've literally walked maybe 40 minutes across the city, left the van behind and I've come to another entrance. This is a lot bigger, a lot longer, and there's these kind of doors at the end where I've just unpinned one but I need to close the other one before I shoot. But there is chandeliers in here and it does look fairly original apart from the light bulbs. Going to be good. I'm going to get another quick shot here before moving on. Nice corridor shot. It's going to complete the set, if nothing else. What else is to say about it? It's going to be, I think, again, I think I could go 24mm on this one because I can actually step much, much further back and then keep all of my lines nice and straight. So that's what I'm going to look to do in this one. Okay, that concludes today's video. The entrances of Belgrade. It's been a pleasure to have you along for the ride. I hope you've enjoyed the images we've captured. Tomorrow, the scouting tour starts, and actually it's going to be a cracker. Got any comments, leave them below. Until next time, I'll see you all very soon. I'm going to go get a beer, some lunch. I've done a little bit earlier than planned, so it's been nice. I've got one more to photograph that you've not seen yet, and it was quite busy, so I'm going to do it just in camera. It's going to make quite a nice entrance to the portfolio. See you all very soon.